guys! In this video I'm gonna be talking about criticism. I'm gonna be telling you why do other people really criticize us, why do we criticize other people, and how to cope with the bad feelings that we have when someone criticizes us. This video will be pretty long, so I decided to split it in two parts. This is part 1. I hope you're gonna enjoy it. So we all know that we are not perfect. Sometimes we are lazy, we sometimes can forget about things, to be inattentive. However, deeply inside, we have the feeling that we are the best. And all the disadvantages that we have, they're not really big disadvantages, they just make our character spicier. For example, we know that we sometimes can be inattentive. That's okay. However, when another person tells us about this, for example, our boss, we immediately start worrying about it. We feel anxiety and we feel that we need to fix it somehow. Sure, we can talk with other people about our disadvantages, we can even make fun about them. However, when other people notice them, we feel that something is not really okay. Because as I said, we're pretty sure that yes, like sometimes we do mistakes, however, we're much better than our colleagues who do much more mistakes. This is how pretty much every person feels about his or her disadvantages. So that's why when another person shows our disadvantages to us or talks about them, we feel pretty bad and we feel that that person kind of has a negative attitude to us. Because in our psychology, our disadvantages are not really big disadvantages. Whenever another person highlights them, we feel that he or she doesn't like us. Even when the person who criticizes us is right, we feel that the criticism is not objective. And so our brain thinks that, that this person does not want to objectively criticize us, but that this person does not like us. That's why sometimes, well, very often, we tend to not accept the criticism from anyone. That's simple, because we tend to like ourselves and to think that we are actually the best, and that anyone who doubts in it, it's just a person who doesn't like us. So that's why subjectively it's very hard to accept the critics. So very often the first desire that we have when we are being criticized is to just go away or to say something unpleasant in return. Both of these are not really good options, because if we do like that, then we're gonna have bad feeling, not because of the criticism itself, but also about the deeds and our words that we told another person. So this is the first rule. To be able to accept criticism calmly, you have to look at the situation from another point of view, so to say. Not internally, but externally. When we just look at the person who criticizes us, we don't see anything else than just, one person who offends us. However, if we try to observe the situation from behind, we can make other conclusions and it will help to make our feelings better. So to do this, you need to, first of all, to take a deep breath and to ask yourself a question. How do I look now? So this will help you to abstract from emotional sides of criticism and to really hear what the person is saying and not how. Very often when we are being criticized, we just hear the general accusations and we do not understand the specific things the person is talking about. For example, they say, you made a mistake here, and we hear, you're a loser. They say, you could do better here, and we hear, you're just a lazy chick. This happens because we tend to exaggerate everything negative that happens to us. When we hear that someone criticizes our work, especially the work where we invested so much efforts and part of our soul in it, it seems to be a catastrophe. However, in most cases, not the whole work or the whole project is being criticized, but just, some specific mistakes that we made while working on the project. It is very important to split criticism of personality from criticism of actions. When someone says, "This pie is not tasty," they do not criticize us, they just criticize this specific pie that we baked. It happens sometimes that criticism is really not objective. For example, you have been working long extra hours on the project, you didn't have any weekends, you really invested a lot of your efforts, and the client, for example, having a bad mood or, having any other unobjective reason, criticized the whole project, not explaining specifically what would he want to change in it. Sometimes the arguments are so artificial that they may even seem funny. So in this case, the best scenario of your behavior would be to just say, "Okay, thank you, I heard everything that you thought, and I will try to fix everything in this project that you didn't like." You need to say this because the best what you can do in such situation is just to stop this conversation and to distance from the customer who just has a bad mood. Because sometimes when the person is in a bad mood, he tries to level it up by using the good mood of another person. Don't let such people do it. If this doesn't work, so if it doesn't work that you say that, "Okay, I heard you, I'm gonna fix everything," and the client or your boss or your colleague or anyone just keeps saying these unjust accusations, there is a psychological trick to deal with such people. You have to imagine that there is a brick wall between him or her and you, or even the mirror. And so everything that this person tells to you, he actually tells himself. In most cases, if the person who is being aggressive to you without any reason does not get an aggressive reaction as an answer, he comes down pretty quickly and will even come to you and apologize after a while. The most important thing here is not to let your self-esteem grow down because someone told you something. Your self-esteem is your territory, and it really shouldn't matter a lot what other people say about you, even if they're your bosses or colleagues. I'm gonna put a link to another video somewhere here. Hope you like it, and that I see you in the next one.